Hello, everybody. My name is Rose Katlego. Welcome to the show. It's another show. It's NXL 360. We are doing a review of the match that is Mamelodi Sundowns up against Polokwane City. Some would call it 2.0. Remember, they played during the week where Sundowns beat Polokwane City at home at 1-0. But now the home game was at Loftus. Was Mamelodi Sundowns' home game, and they won 3-0. I think when was the last time that you see? That you saw Mamelodi Sundowns scoring more than one goal in a match. I think they're sending a message to Orlando Pirates saying that if you can do it, so can we. But joining me today is the usual suspects. We've got Nadim Lukele as well as Ukola Mlambo. Sundowns are at the top. They are comfortable. They are sitting comfortable, 64 points right at the top, and then Orlando Pirates just after them with 59 points. But let's get into the game. Let's start with Nadim. Nadim, how are you? Welcome to the show as usual. It's good to see you.
Yeah, Rose is good. It's good to see you, Rose. Even though you're fine, Midrand. Stay in Midrand, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, interesting match in Pretoria between Mamelodi Sundowns versus Polokwane City. As expected, what we said during the week, Sundowns will collect 5 points, and they did.
Yeah, you did say that they will be 5 points clear. They are 5 points clear, as you would say. How are you? Welcome to the show. As usual, it's good to see you. How did you see the game? Was that Mamelodi Sundowns versus Polokwane City?
Oh, hi Rose, hi Nadim. Good to see you guys. It was a good game to watch. Very interesting, with a lot of disappointments from two teams, if I have to put it like that. Orlando Pirates and Polokwane City, because Polokwane City went to Pretoria and they came back with 3 goals in their back, but no points. And obviously, the supporters of Orlando Pirates are disappointed that at least Polokwane City could not help and do the job for them.
Yeah, man. Speaking about other teams doing the job, I think Nadim just said it just before we started the show. He says, you have to do the job yourself, Nadim. But let's get into the winning team. Let's get into Mamelodi Sundowns back on top. We've been saying that they are not scoring the goals, but today they scored 3 goals overall. How did you see the match? Did Polokwane City stand a chance? Any chance of them at least getting a draw from this match?
Yeah, okay. On my side, I never saw Polokwane City getting anything. From the day on Wednesday where I saw Mathuludi playing as a number 11 for Mamelodi Sundowns, giving them corner kicks, I just thought Sundowns would be too strong for Polokwane City. Even today, I mean, it was a standard victory for Sundowns. It was the Mamelodi Sundowns we know that controls the game, create more chances, had more shots on goal, had more ball position, dominating all sides. That was just a standard win and a good turnout. I think it was more than 15,000 or so at Loftus Stadium. The fans, I think Santawana are very happy with the match. They feel like the league is getting very, very close because now they're left with 3 matches. If they win their 3 matches, they win the league. No stories, nothing. No one will do anything about it. That's where they are. I mean, if you look how Sundowns control the match from the ball position with 71%. That just this team was well prepared for today's game. And then if you look at shots, 16 shots. Again, Polokwane 8, maybe 9 shots on target, Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. Polokwane City 0. I mean, that tells you everything. Even a penalty, they were given a penalty. I mean, the guy, I don't know, Puleng Tlowane, I think he used to be called Tlowane, now is Marema. He missed the penalty. Of course, one will say if you support Mamelodi Sundowns, he slipped. But if you support Orlando Pirates or other teams, he deliberately actually wanted to miss the penalty so that he doesn't score against Sundowns, so that the goal scoring ratio increase. There are a lot of factors around this match, but the fact is Sundowns dominated it well. I never saw it coming within them that Polokwane City can go to Loftus after failing to beat them at home on Wednesday in Seshego. I thought today Sundowns will do what they did, and they did. The game they never lost control. Even if when they got a penalty, it was still gonna be 2. And one will say Sundowns still have within them to dig deep and get the third goal. For me, it's a victory for Sundowns. It is a 3 points. Well needed 3 points though, because Sundowns in the last few weeks when they drew with Stellenbosch, Richards Bay, even that victory against Polokwane away, it looks like there's something that is missing. But after watching today's game, you feel like Sundowns are back to their best. The only question mark for me is Mshishi. Guys, I don't think Mshishi should go to the World Cup. I don't think Themba Zwane is offering Sundowns that much. I don't think he's in a better condition. He's not helping Sundowns. Should he go to the World Cup if it's struggling at Mamelodi Sundowns? I'm not sure. I just feel like other players who are deservedly must go to the World Cup, not Mshishi. I think Mshishi has run his race. As Paul said in the Bible, I ran my race. I finished my I think Mshishi has ran his race. He needs to give others a chance. I honestly think so. I don't think he should go to the World Cup.
Sure, that's a very bold statement. I think a lot of people are not going to be happy with you because Mshishi is one of South Africa's favorite players. I can tell that everybody loves them. I mean, everybody loves him. But let's get into the game, Kola. Speaking about Puleng, the Polokwane City captain, for you as a former player, you are being brought into the match, and then you miss an opportunity. In this case, you miss a penalty. You actually slip, and then the coach substitutes you back again. How does that make you feel? I mean, what goes through a player's mind like that? When things like that, definitely the confidence. That was a very bold move from the coach. But what do you think happened there, in your own opinion?
I mean, Rose, that's a good question. We all know football is a game of mistakes, and when such a mistake happens, because I think it was evidently clear that Pule Mareme slipped when he was about to kick that ball. I mean, I don't think he did that deliberately. I mean, in football, you can make mistakes and you get punished, or you make mistakes like Pule Maremi missed an opportunity. It could have been 2-1 if maybe he did not sleep and converted that penalty kick. But we can look at the overall thing and try to blame Pule for the mistake of him slipping in a penalty. It's the same thing. There's a boy who counter-pressed Allende just immediately after they missed the penalty, and he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He could have laid the ball across and scored, but he decided to take the shot that also went wide. So it was very an interesting game. It was disappointing somewhere, somehow. I mean, it's not nice to go to a stadium or to watch television and only see one opposition that dominant and that are posing a threat, wanting to make sure that they kill the game. You can't go to a game both halves, you don't even have a shot on target. It's very disappointing in South African standards. And these are players that are competing to be going for the World Cup. They are competing for positions to the World Cup. And if they bring such performances, it says a lot about our country and our standards and where we are going into this World Cup. But Pule Moremi's mistake, I think he's more experienced. He understands the game. He's been in the game and he's been at Polokwane City for many years. I think he's the longest serving player for Polokwane City. I hope he's going to take this as a leader as he is, because you can never wear an arm belt and be demoralized by just being substitute after missing a penalty. He just needs to raise his head up and take it as it is. It was the coach's decision to substitute him after that miss. There's nothing he can do about it. He can't fight it. But I think his substitute did not help Polokwane City in any way. It actually made it even better, because the substitute that came from Mamelodi Sundowns, they took the game to another level. So sometimes you punish someone for making a mistake only to find that you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, man. Tolo, let me just get into it. Speaking about the World Cup, another player that put up his hand for me, I thought he had a good match, was Reyners, even scoring in that match. What is your take on him? Nadim has already said his opinion regarding Mutemba Zwane. But can we talk about Reyners, the impact that he had in this game? What we need in this country are strikers that can score. And the one player that everyone is calling for is Reyners to be back into the national team. What was your take on his performance today?
I've spoken about Reyners for so many times, Rose. Reyners might not be one of those good players that people want to see flashy and all of that, but Reyners guarantees you a goal in a game or two games. You are guaranteed a goal when Reyners is there. Reyners, I've been saying and I've been advocating and I've been wishing that they change their mindset when it comes to him and they put him in that team, because Umakhopa, as it is currently, he's not scoring goals for us. Forsler, as it is, he's not scoring goals for us. Reyners, he's currently the only player who looks like he's having his goal scoring boots locally, And when it comes into the national thingy, we can talk about so many things, but strikers don't score goals if they don't get to be created for, And one other player that I also want to mention, I think we deserve to give an overlook in whatever that happened prior and in none. We need a player like Uthembinkosi Lorch in the Bafana Bafana setup. they either should talk to him if they had problems with his disciplinary and whatsoever. He's not the only player that had disciplinary issues or had squabbles and whatsoever. Those things are things that are resolvable. And I think he's in a mature space. He's in a good space now. He can be called into the national team and help the national team to create even more goal scoring opportunities. Because where he is playing, if he does not score, he assists. So if the national team is being called on merit, you don't overlook such a player because of the history. No one can change history, but we can at least try and change the future.
That's a bold statement. Kola bringing in someone that I didn't even think of in terms of, because we're talking about Mamelodi Sundowns, but he's bringing a very important player that South Africa loves, that is Thembi Kgosi, saying that he should be back in the national team. But it's no secret, the national team has already said his statement that who does he take out? Because Lodge plays right behind the strikers. Who does he leave behind? Because it seems like that number 10 position, Dean was just talking about Themba Zwane, could talk about you can talk about Mufokeng, can also talk about Umbule, which is also another great area that we don't know what's going to happen with him, because he's also not getting enough game time at Orlando Pirates. But back to the game, Nadim, another player that has put his hand up, and Matthews is always going to be in the box. He's always going to create opportunities, but he wasn't scoring them, and today he scored them. I know he's got a love and hate relationship with his supporters, but today he was on the score sheet. And what do you think about that? What do you think that's going to do to his confidence going forward, especially in the last few games that are very critical? We know that he's a coach. The coach loves him. He will always play him. What is your take regarding Matthew's game today?
I think he did well. He's been doing very well for Mamelodi Sundowns. If you look at his statistics, it's like 6 goals and 6 assists or something like that. He's been pretty much involved in almost of the games. He's been there, ever present. But the thing that Bafana already know, the front row, the defense is Mamelodi Sundowns. The front row is Orlando Pirates. That's why the coach is saying, who shall he take out? He's not going to take out Mahopa. He's not going to take out Morem. He's not going to take out Apolis. He's not going to take out Mpokeng. Those players are guaranteed to go to the World Cup because they were part of the playoffs. The coach is very loyal. The guy is 73 years old. He deals with loyalty. If you're with him during the qualifiers when things were tough, definitely is going to take you to the World Cup. Players like Matthews, they can score well. Reynolds, they can do well. But the fact is, even Lodge, they are not going to the World Cup because they have not been part of the playoffs. This coach has been very sincere from the start. The guys that have been with him is going to take him. He's the kind of a guy, when he does things, you cannot convince him with goal scoring. I remember when Mabasa was a top goal scorer in the league with 16 goals. I think he had like 3 goals or 4 goals. He took Mahopa to the AFCON because he trusts Mahopa. He likes him, and Mahopa repaid his faith. He even scored the goal that took Bafana to the AFCON semi-finals. I think what they are not gonna, just like in that interview with Robert Marawa, where the coach said, if he includes Lodge, who shall he take out? That tells you one thing: the players that are going to the World Cup, the squad is already done deal. We can speak the way we want, but the Bafana squad that's going to the World Cup is a done deal. There's no surprises. There's players that we know that are going to the World Cup are going to the World Cup.
The World Cup players set and done, But Kola, Sundowns is sitting at 64 points. They are number 1. Orlando Pirates is number 2. Sundowns have a game in hand. Orlando Pirates has got a game in hand. They're playing Tuesday. They're playing against Stellenbosch. And then we've got Mamelodi Sundowns playing a very, very big game on Wednesday with Kaizer Chiefs. But what does this mean for Orlando Pirates? Sundowns is on top. They're used to that. That's where they always belong in the past 8 years. But what would you say would be going on the player's mind? As a player like this, when things don't seem like you're going to get it, how do you motivate yourself? What do you think is going through the Pirates' players? They've never been in this position before where they're so close to being number 1. But it seems like this is the closest that they will ever get in many, many years. So what is your take in terms of Orlando Pirates players' mindset right now?
Yeah, Rosie, it's a very difficult space because the games are running out thick and fast. We are coming closely to the conclusion of the season, And Mamelodi Sundowns, it seems as if like they are making a bold statement of saying they don't want to drop the ball. But as Orlando Pirates players currently, I think their main objective is to focus on their games, to try and make sure that they play as best as they can, win their games, and forget about hoping that somebody else will make them a favor and trip Mamelodi Sundowns, draw, or that shouldn't even be their focus. They should just focus on doing their job, getting their results. Because if they are going to focus on Mamelodi Sundowns is going to grow in their head. But if they focus on their performances and what they want to achieve, no matter what happens, if God wants it to happen, it will happen. If God says it's not yet the time, then nothing can happen. Because now, for them having to rely on either Kaizer Chiefs to at least disturb Mamelodi Sundowns, it switches off their focus into their games coming. Maybe Kaizer Chiefs then happen to do that. They get overzealous and then they end up dropping points. What are they going to say now? So their focus should only be one game at the time, focus on their next game. They should not focus on whatever is happening at Mamelodi Sundowns and what Mamelodi Sundowns is doing. Because same way as they managed to drop points, Mamelodi Sundowns can still drop points, but their focus should only be on themselves and not on Mamelodi Sundowns or not on Polokwane City, hoping that Polokwane City will help them or Kaizer Chiefs will help them or all of those teams, Richards Bay, because they still have their game at the end of the day, Rose. Like we say now, they have a game in hand. It does not guarantee them points. Like Orlando Pirates supporters were confident that they're going to get the victory against Kaizer Chiefs, and it did not happen like that because their mindset is already ahead of whatever that they still have to face. So the objective is for them to switch on, focus on the situation that they are dealing with now, and hopefully God will lead and make things easier for them. But if God is saying no, it's not yet the time, whatever that you can do, at the end of the day, it's the God's final word that lies with whatever that's happened.
Well, divine intervention is what Orlando Pirates need, says Tolam Lambo. They can only control what they can control. Whatever happens outside of that, which is true, you can't do anything about it. If Sundowns decides to win the next all of the games, then Sundowns gets to win all the games. Like Nadim has said, Sundowns just needs to win 3 games and then it is all over. Enterprise cannot do anything. But let's talk about the champions. Let's talk about today's victory. As a Sundowns coach, I think you'd be relieved because in the 2 previous games, you could tell that he was a bit stressed, especially the past 3 games. Even though he won on Wednesday, you could tell that he was not really truly impressed because his team only managed to score 1 goal, and how Polokwane City tried to scare them in the last 10 minutes. But in today's game, Sundowns, yes, Polokwane City did have opportunities, like Nadim has said, regarding the penalty that they got. There was a 1-1, chance that they didn't score. Even their goalkeeper, Polokwane City goalkeeper, made some very, very crucial saves that could have, Sundowns could have scored more goals. But it was not the day. Today was Mamelodi Sundowns Day. Sundowns is back at the top. We saw that even Mokoena started today. I think the coach really wanted to say a statement that they want to seal this league before they leave, especially before the game that is on Wednesday. So Nadim, let's get into what is your take in terms of Wednesday's game with Sundowns? Do you think Chiefs can do anything? Do you think Chiefs stands a chance on Wednesday?
Yeah, definitely. I strongly believe that Kaizer Chiefs stand a very strong chance against Sundown. In actual fact, I believe Kaizer Chiefs. First thing first, before I go to the Chiefs, I need to thank Kola for the powerful sermon he just delivered about the race. Yeah. No, that was true. I agree with him. If God allows it, it's gonna happen. It's always the case. I think Kaizer Chiefs will beat Sundowns on Wednesday. I think it's gonna be like that. Chiefs, even as we speak, is the last team to go to Loftus to beat Sundowns 2-1 in the Nedbank Cup last year. First round of the season, Chiefs were unlucky not to beat Sundowns at FNB Stadium. Chiefs knows how to play Mamelodi Sundowns historically. They know how to play Mamelodi Sundowns. And remember, for Chiefs also, they still have hope. They want to finish higher as they can. They are still battling with Amazulu for the 3rd position. One of them that they will need to do. Remember, they lost their last game against Welele, which was 2-0. If they lose again, it's gonna be 2 losses in a row. Then lose again against Amazulu. Then the pressure will be there. Remember, the guys, they still have a chance. Ben Yusuf as well as Cedric Katse to fight for their jobs at Kaizer Chiefs. I think if you look at the players like Dubai Chiefs, the midfielder, it's more like a grudge, Mabo, where they were chased away from Mamelodi Sundowns. Ndlovu is a kind of a guy who I honestly think Kaizer Chiefs have what it takes to frustrate Mamelodi Sundowns. This Mamelodi Sundowns is not ready to go in a physical war because they still have the Champions League final. They still have the World Cup to think of. Their players are not ready to go to that kind of battle. That's why they came short in that battle against Richards Bay. Richards Bay, one who say they were unlucky not to beat Sundowns. It should have been 2-0 last week. So Kaizer Chiefs, they have a strong chance to beat Mamelodi Sundowns. And I think they will. I don't see why they will not, because Polokwane City is very clear they didn't want to score. for both games. They just wanted to watch Sundowns. Whatever reason is, it doesn't matter. The fact is, Polokwane City didn't even want to kick a penalty. The penalty was there. I mean, the guy just came in after 5 minutes. Don't even know what was. Even the ball boy of Mamelodi Sundowns couldn't believe it. I saw him laughing. I mean, I think the SuperSport camera zoomed into the ball boy. Was just laughing. Well, you can't have a team, professional team in the professional PSL that is in the top 6. Remember, Polokwane is in the top 6. It's not a team fighting relegation. Then they play Mamelodi Sundowns. They can't even have a shot on goal. And you tell me that Polokwane City wanted to win. No, they didn't. They didn't want to win. The fact is, one would say Polokwane City are happy that Sundowns are champions. They are looking forward for Sundowns to collect the title for the 9 times in a row. And they did what they had to do, give Sundowns how many goals? 4 goals and 6 points. Standard performance. But Kaizer Chiefs is a different ball game. They did that against all odds. Everyone, Chiefs were going to that match last year in the Nedbank Cup semi-finals. They were at their weekly case. They were struggling in the league. They have not won since February. Everyone thought, even the bookmakers, everyone who was betting, went to say straight win for Sundowns. But who came up at Loftus with a victory? It was Kaizer Chiefs 2-1. For now, Orlando Pirates, they don't need Chiefs to beat Sundowns. They need a draw. Provided the Pirates win their remaining matches, Pirates will win the game on goal difference. That's why I'm still saying Orlando Pirates is going to win the league end of the season. And Pirates, even if Chiefs fail to beat Sundowns, a draw will still be very good enough for Pirates, because I do believe that on Tuesday, Orlando Pirates is going to be too strong for Stellenbosch in Cape Town. They will win. Obviously, if Pirates don't win against Stellenbosch, it doesn't matter that game to Pirates. The Pirates are already out of the league. The PSL must prepare crowning Mamelodi Sundowns.
You know what? Nadim is standing on business and saying that Orlando Pirates is going to win the league. Chiefs is going to help them indirectly. You know what? Like he's saying, the repeat of Nedbank Cup of last season is going to happen in the league this time, where Chiefs is going to disturb Mamelodi Sundowns. But we will see. Tola, before we wrap up on this game, what are your last sentiments regarding this game? You know, any last regards? You know, anything that we didn't mention that you want to mention of the game?
No, Rosie, today's game was so obvious. Mamelodi Sundowns was so dominant. And there's nothing that Polokwane City did that we could say they scared Mamelodi Sundowns at the end of the day. I mean, even the shots on targets are evidence of today's results, you know. But it's just a matter of the quality that Mamelodi Sundowns has. Mamelodi Sundowns, they are spoiled for choice. You even saw with the substitutes. Even today, when last did we see Spelele Mkhulise coming on as a sub? And he came on, it didn't even show as if like he hasn't been playing, you know? So it's just unfortunate because Mamelodi Sundowns is so dominant when it comes to the quality that they possess. They still bring back Nuno. After so many games he hasn't been playing, he comes in, he scores a beautiful goal. Yes, the goalkeeper could have done better, but at the end of the day, it's a goal. Look at the move that he makes inside the box, the pass that is played by Leon. All of those things, they are in detail, and it's the quality of the export that Mamelodi Sundowns have brought into our country. We have to give them flowers based on that. And I have to disagree with Nadim when it comes to the Wednesday game, just a bit, because does Chiefs have the quality to compete with Mamelodi Sundowns? Yes, probably 100% so. But is Chiefs going to show as if like they're going to give Mamelodi Sundowns at Loftus? I don't think so. And why I'm saying so is based on the interview that I've listened of the coach here, Kaizer Chiefs. He was firm and he was stating it, saying he does not care who wins the league. So that statement for me, that was followed up by excuses of saying it's difficult for a team to be consistent in performances and getting results if they don't have a consistent team. So it says to you already, he's already putting excuses in front to protect themselves if anything goes wrong. He's not saying we are going out, we are going to fight and win all of the games. He's saying that, but with a bit of a block in terms of protection. So once you go to war, already guarded up, saying, I don't want to lose, or if I lose, I have something that I can use as an excuse. Players are injured, suspended, and all of those things. What about the other players that you've signed? Because a team, I don't think they only have 11 players. Team consists of almost close to 30 players. So each and every player that is there in the team should have the capabilities of performing. And whoever that is given the opportunity, you should be gunning and wanting to get the positive results from them. But him saying, no, there's no team that has inconsistent lineup that will give you results. It shows why he was capable to lose 4 games in a row at Kaizer Chiefs. So now they've started losing the one game. What are the chances of them going and losing the second one and probably going and losing the third one? They've done that before. So I don't see them giving that much problem to Mamelodi Sundowns, but I'm not saying they are not capable of doing so. I just see Mamelodi Sundowns dominating because Loftus, they are bossing whether we like it or not. They make sure what you feel what you are in their field. And like you touched, Rose, the coach made a statement today by starting with Mokwena and Unto, the three pairing midfielders, because even Allende, you see the performances. He's a silent performer where people are not really giving him the maximum flowers or the maximum kudos for his performances. He's making that midfield tick, whether we like it or not. He's the glue inside. And then Abu Mukwena, they just a bonus on top. They are a cherry on top. So if the coach of Kaizer Chiefs is already coming with excuses and Mamelodi Sundowns is rotating their players, but yet they're still getting results, what are we saying about the game or the coaching and the quality that both the teams possesses?
One thing I can tell you guys, it's a big, big game on Wednesday. You can never write off Kaizer Chiefs, no matter where they are, in terms of the log. But very, very, very true. Sundance's quality is quite high. But Chiefs have done this, have faced Mamelodi Sundowns before. But in the league, they
Okay, I
haven't.
have one question. Which team is stronger between Stellenbosch and Kaizer Chiefs at the moment?
Currently, I think Stellenbosch is.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I think Kaizer Chiefs are stronger. Even if you look at the streak, at one point in time, they win 5 wins in a row. Stellenbosch just lost 1-0 away from home to Polokwane City. The same Polokwane City that couldn't even have a shot on goal. That is the same Stellenbosch that went to Loftus to get a point. It lost to Polokwane the whole game. They couldn't even score one goal. Kaizer Chiefs, Polokwane are different when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs are in upper, higher in terms of the thing about Chiefs. They don't care who you are playing. That's why it's the last team to go to Loftus and beat Mamelodi Sundowns. Chiefs is the most supported team in South Africa. Whenever they are, even at Loftus, they will have more fans than Mamelodi Sundowns. It doesn't matter who they play. Immediately they arrive in a venue, they become an automatic home choice. For me, it doesn't matter who's playing home or away. Even at their best under Rulane, Chiefs will give Sundowns problems. This Kaizer Chiefs is capable of going to Loftus. That one, Chiefs that went to Loftus and beat Sundowns in the Nedbank Cup was weaker than this Kaizer Chiefs team. This one, if they're playing, who's there, who can be. For me, I think it's a much improved Kaizer Chiefs team. There's Silva, there's Wandile Duba, there's Mdu Shabalala, there's Mfundo Villagas who can come in. One thing I like about them, they are fearless. It's just that against Orlando Pirates, they didn't want to play football. They wanted to play karate. Even if they play karate against Sundowns, they can stop Sundowns. Even if they decide to take Sundowns on physically, Sundowns cannot match them because you can see Sundowns players. Polokwane City made Sundowns players look shine today. Something that Richards Bay allowed to refused to do that. Something that Stellenbosch refused to do that. This Sundowns team is not as strong as you guys think. That's why it's not going to win the league. Sundowns will not win the league this season. But Orlando Pirates, if they win their remaining matches, obviously they will win the league. For me, I feel strongly that Amakosa Mashe will go to Loftus and in numbers just to cause an upset. And they've done that many times where they beat Sundowns at their own backyard. So there's no teams that Chiefs have not beaten in their own backyard convincingly. So I don't think Stellenbosch is stronger than Kaizer Chiefs simply because I saw Stellenbosch struggling against Polokwane City to even score a goal. This Polokwane City, that was like, they've forgotten even how to kick a penalty. For me, Polokwane City didn't want to do anything against Sundowns. They just wanted to give Sundowns 3 points. Congratulations to Polokwane City. Your desire happened. What you did, it happened. For me, I'll only congratulate because Sundowns.
You know what I love, Nadim, is that you were the first one to say Polokwane City is going to give Mamelodi Sundowns problems. They are the team that are going to cause an upset. But now you are the one who is criticizing the same Polokwane City. And the same Stellenbosch that you're saying is weaker than Polokwane City because Polokwane City won. Stellenbosch, they haven't been good travelers this season. I don't know what has been happening, but at home, it's as if like they are being rejuvenated. They have Amanyamandla Masha that you don't know with Avela Group. And they even showed when they played in Mamelodi Sundowns, they had that never say give up attitude. They went all the way. That's why they were the ones that managed to disturb Mamelodi Sundowns in collecting the maximum points. They could have won it if Utsekgofatso Mabatso could have timed his run and on those last minutes could have scored. Who's a better striker currently at Kaizer Chiefs that you can say he's far better than Utsekgofatso Mabatso? I don't think there is one in this season on form, based on form purposes, you know? And
Okay, I
if we're
think we
going to
can't
look
hear
at
1010 there. I don't know
Stellenbosch
what's
and the
happening
Yeah.
with this
records and
network.
compare Polokwane
But
City
for
and
me, it's
Kaizer
very
Chiefs,
clear. I
the
thought
same Kaizer Chiefs
Polokwane
that we are
City will
saying
have
is stronger
something
than
against Polokwane City.
Stellenbosch, or
1010
this
is right.
season's Kaizer Chiefs is
Polokwane City
stronger
No, they
and
than last
Richards
actually,
season's
Bay.
Kaizer
sorry
Chiefs.
to come in there.
That's the same
Actually,
Kaizer
Polokwane
Chiefs that
City did
already
beat
have a
Sundowns last
trophy last
season.
season. This season, we all
Without
know
a
with
shot on
chances of
goal,
them winning a
not
trophy
just
are
beat
zero.
Sundowns. They
There's no
beat
chance
Sundowns at
Kaizer Chiefs are
home
going to
without
be
Sundowns having a
crowned
shot on
champions
goal.
of
And
anything
the
this
results
season.
after the game, they
So I
fired
still
Mangoba
believe
Mngidi.
with
That's why
Kaizer
this
Chiefs,
season Polokwane
yes, we can
wanted
say
Sundowns
they
to
are
give them the
better
3
than what they
points.
are last
We
season
cannot
based on
blame
the league's performances.
Polokwane
But
for
somebody
doing
else
what
could
they
come
wanted
back
to
and
do.
say,
They
yeah,
wanted
but
Sundowns to win
last
the game. They
season's
wanted
Kaizer
to
Chiefs,
win.
they
That's
won a
it.
trophy, they
You can't tell me
qualified for
that
the
a
CAF.
team that
What's
is in
going
the
to
top
happen this
6
season? They
cannot
have to
even have a
still
shot
fight for
on
that spot.
goal against Mamelodi Sundowns. It's very clear that what they wanted to do. For me, I'm not gonna lose sleep over this game. I saw exactly what happened. For me, it's a disgrace for football if a team can play like that. That's why he took off the guy because he knew that the guy deliberately missed the penalty on purpose. He knew if the Polokwane City head coach didn't believe that Puleng didn't miss the penalty on purpose, he was never gonna take him off. Do you think, Rose, he was gonna take him off if he knew that that was a mistake?
I don't know what the reasons are, but I think if he scored, I don't think he would have been taken off. I'm not sure why he was taken off, but I don't think if he had scored, there would be any problems, because then Polokwane City would have a chance to draw at least the game.
No. I'm asking you, do you think if the Polokwane City head coach knew that penalty was missed by mistake, was he gonna take him off if he knew that was a mistake? Or he knew that he purposely missed the penalty, that's why he get angry and took him off?
No. I don't think he would have taken him off. I don't think he would have taken him off. But also, I'm not saying that the coach thought that it was deliberate that he missed that penalty. But if he did it deliberately, then yeah, that's another story. Then your mic.
Okay. Rose, sorry. I think the guy deliberately missed the penalty. That's why the coach took him off. That's why he couldn't even shake his hand. Rose was just telling us that last season, Polokwane City, when they still wanted to play football, they beat Sundowns 1-0 in Polokwane. After that game, they fired Mangoba. Sundowns couldn't even have a shot on goal. A strong Polokwane that wanted to play Sundowns. This one didn't want. They wanted to donate 6 points. They did that. For me, I don't have a problem with Sundowns because you can do what you wanted. They just wanted to give Sundowns 3 points. They did. Yes, you are right. I thought Polokwane would be one of the top teams. Stellenbosch, yes, you might say they've been badly travelers, but they went to FNP and beat Kaizer Chiefs. They went to Loftus and get a point. They have not been bad. The only matches that they lost away is the one against Richards Bay Mhlathuze and the one against Polokwane. The rest, they've not lost away. So they've not been that bad away against Stelis this season under Gavin Hunt. Yes, they were bad under Steve Barker. For me, I'm so convinced that Kaizer Chiefs will go to Loftus and beat Mamelodi Sundowns. There's nothing that when I'm looking at Sundowns, I've seen Sundowns at their best. For me, even Reynolds is scored, but he's not been clinical in recent matches. There's nothing that scares me from this Sundowns team that I feel like Chiefs should be scared of it. The fact that Kaizer Chiefs have had 7 days from their game against Suwelele, rest Sundowns were even playing today. I think that will also work against Mamelodi Sundowns. A victory is something that they cannot get. A draw is something that is highly likely. That draw will benefit Orlando Pirates.
I mean, Nadim, sorry, Rose, but this is the same Kaizer Chiefs that eliminated Mamelodi Sundowns last season on the Nedbank Cup with an offside, And this is the same Kaizer Chiefs that when they played Mamelodi Sundowns in the league, they conceded 4 goals. So there's so many things that we can base the performances on.
No, it's not. Remember, this Kaizer Chiefs team, it's an improved one from the last season that beat Mamelodi Sundowns at Loftus. Yes, it was an offside, but before it was an offside, it was 1-1. Teboho Mokoena scored first, then Wandile Dube equalized, then Dupree came in. So even if it was not a offside goal that Dupree, of course, I believe it was an offside. It was going to go to extra time. So even that's why I'm saying a draw will benefit Orlando Pirates, not Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, that's maybe somewhat true, but I think you're looking at the records of the cups. And when we have to go back and look at the records of Kaizer Chiefs versus Mamelodi Sundowns in the league, they haven't been good. It's been years consistently. Mamelodi Sundowns has been underperforming when it comes to local trophies. Because I think their mindset when it comes into the trophies, their main focus is in the CAF Champions League. But in the league, they've been ruthless. Hence, even with the bare minimum performance, the standard that we are not used to Sundowns being, they are still leading the league. It's just the unfortunate truth. Everyone is saying Mamelodi Sundowns are not at their best, Mamelodi Sundowns this and that. But they are the ones on top leading with 5 points as we speak currently. And you're going to rely on Kaizer Chiefs. Yes, Kaizer Chiefs is improved, is a much better Kaizer Chiefs compared to what they've been. They haven't been qualifying for the MTN 8 this season. They are guaranteed to qualify for the MTN 8. But one can come back and say the same Kaizer Chiefs won a Nedbank Cup last season and they qualified to go perform and participate in the Confed. That's why they are so eager this season, wanting to compete and make sure that they go back because they saw that how it improves their team when they are competing continentally. So it's two different breeds. One is the one that is dominating in the CAF, and the other one is the one that struggled, that nearly qualified to the knockout stages of the Confed. So I don't see Kaizer Chiefs coming and causing an upset at Loftus. It's just unfortunate. Maybe if it was a cup, I would agree with you, but not at this stage.
Yeah, interesting one from 1010. I like the fact that you are very clear. I like people who speak like you. You don't see Kaizer Chiefs going to Loftus and causing an upset. I see it happening. Football is a game of opinion. At the end of the day, Wednesday is gonna come in. The game will be played. Both of us, 1010, are not gonna be right. One will be wrong, one will be right. Obviously, if we are right, Sundowns have won the league. It's done. I mean, for me, I don't think now I'm gonna change and say Zwelele will now beat Sundowns or draw or TS Galaxy. I saw TS Galaxy playing yesterday. They were terrible. They were terrible. 10-10, your former team in the Nedbank Cup final. It looks like the league then is gonna be done by then. But it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. But I still have hope that Orlando Pirates is gonna win the league. Remember, 10-10, I don't want Sundowns to win the league. I'm hoping that Sundowns drop points so that Pirates win the league. Because if Sundowns win the league, look at this. It's gonna be 9 consecutive victories. Something that doesn't even happen in England, Spain, Italy. It only happens maybe in Germany or even or in France. In other countries, you will never see a team winning 9 consecutive league titles. It makes the league weak and predictable. Everyone will lose interest. For me, that's why I stand. Otherwise, Sundowns, obvious. If you can tell, a team that deserves to win the league this season is Mamelodi Sundowns. They went to Orlando FNP Stadium to beat Orlando Pirates fans at their own house. So for me, if they beat Kaizer Chiefs, so you can't tell me that you'll beat Pirates, you beat Kaizer Chiefs, you beat all the big teams around you and still not deserve to win the league title. So if Sundowns do that, for me, they will have deserved it. And I will say congratulations to Masantawana. But I still have hope Pirates can cause an upset.
Definitely, Nadim. Anything can still happen. I mean, it's not over yet. How many games to go? 4 or 5 for other teams. So it's not yet over. But the fact of the matter is, I believe that whoever that deserves to win the league should win the league. You know, we should not hope and guess and do whatever and hope. It must be on merit. You must earn for whatever that you've worked for. Because if you're going to get something that you don't deserve, Mena for Mena, it does not have the value that it should be carrying. Because now you'd be taking somebody else's medal, but uyazi ukuthi no. Kahle kahle angiyideserve lento le engiyiphethe. Unless if you are a person of no integrity, you take something that you know it does not belong to you. But when you know that you fought for it and you deserve to have it, the results are going to show and you will definitely get it, you know? Yes, it's not nice seeing Mamelodi Sundowns being so dominant. Always, we can easily predict and say, the league is going to Mamelodi Sundowns. But other teams need to come to the party as well to say, we are going to compete with this Mamelodi Sundowns. We are going to make sure we are competing for the league. We are not here in the league to participate and add numbers because that's what makes it easier for Mamelodi Sundowns. And if all these other teams are going to just open the doors for Mamelodi Sundowns to come and take their best players, then it defeats the purpose of the competitive level and the competitiveness of whatever that they are playing for. you know. So whoever that deserves to win the league must work hard for it and must invest to make sure that they win the league. It must not come from us what we wish and hope for. And then we say, no, it's not nice seeing Mamelodi Sundowns dominating. But if they are working for it, let's give it to them, guys. Let's just give it to them. And it's the same thing. Looking at the final yesterday, man, I would have been disappointed if TS Galaxy would have won the final. I mean, look at the position where TS Galaxy is and look at the previous record in the league this season. They've already conceded 6 goals against one team, and then they come out and become champions. I would have been disappointed if Durban City had lost, because if Durban City have defeated TS Galaxy home and away, then something would have been wrong with the stature of our league, because Durban City is up there, TS Galaxy is down there, and then they lose to ETS Galaxy. Not that I have anything against them, but it's reality. What you work for, you're definitely going to be rewarded at the end of the day. That's what happened even for Durban City. They were a better team this season against TS Galaxy, and that's why they were crowned champions against TS Galaxy.
Yeah, Rose is back. I thought also TS Galaxy, they tried their best, just like it has been this season, 10-10, since Puso Tichechan left TS Galaxy. They've not been a good team. For me, if TS Galaxy won the trophy, it was going to be bad for the PSL. It was going to encourage Team Sugazi to keep on selling the best players every time. He would say, okay, guys, I'm in the league, I'm winning trophies. Teams like Chiefs are not winning the league. They're not selling anyone, but I'm selling players, but I still win the league. So you understand the way it was gonna make the league. Obviously, I was not gonna be a fan of that. That's why I was not happy when TS Galaxy played Stellenbosch in the Carling Cup, Stellenbosch, because the Stellenbosch also have that habit. They are selling all their best players. Any team that sells their best players, I don't think they should be winning a trophy. Honestly speaking, I don't like it, because what about the teams like Amazulu or teams like Skukune, what always trying to build a team? Then a team that sells everyone to everyone, then is the champion. Then the TLSOers will look at you. What are you all about? I'm winning trophies. The same trophies that Sundowns and Chiefs and Pirates want to win. I'm winning it. You guys are not winning it.
Definitely, Nadim. It was gonna look bad,
Gonna look
man,
bad
for our league.
our
You know,
league.
like I'm saying, you can't
Like
lose
I'm
6
saying,
nil
you
in
can't
the
lose
season
16
and
in the
then you
season,
go all the way
and
and
then
win the
you go
final.
all the way
Yes,
and
you
win
can
the final.
rectify, you
Yes,
can
you
do
can
all of the
rectify,
things
you
that
can do all of the
can
things
make
that
your team better.
can make your
You can't
team
always
better.
sell your
You
best
can't only
players
sell
and
your best
still
players
want
and still want
you can't still sell your best players and still want to be competing and dominating in the PSL. That does not make sense. That's why we even seeing now teams that are competing and are dominant. It's your Mamelodi Sundowns, your Orlando Pirates, your Kaizer Chiefs. Hence, Stellenbosch, they also found themselves where they are because that way of doing things for them, producing, selling, it's going to hamper your progress sometimes because you always have to restart when are on a progression, you know. So something is bound to happen, and when such things are happening, at least it becomes an
and
highlight
highlight.
of how other teams should start doing things and learn from the teams that are bettering whatever that is happening. Orlando Pirates has been winning trophies, and now they are signing players left and right because they are showing they want to improve the team. And then Mamelodi Sundowns is doing the same thing. That's why they are dominating wherever that they are playing in the CAF Champions League and the league. Hence, we see the performances that they are giving, even not at their best, but they are still showing glimpses of a better team they are and how they are run. So all of those things I think should be lessons and learning curve from up and coming teams so that the competitive level, the competitive edge can be balanced. And we cannot only overlook and say we are going into the World Cup, we're only looking at Sundowns players and Orlando Pirates. We should be having a vast of variety players from all different teams because the quality is at par.
Yeah, Rose is back. Over to you, Rose. Yeah.
No, I think you guys have said a mouthful. Sorry for the disconnection. But yeah, speaking about that, congratulations to Durban City, by the way, before I even get into anything else. I think they are well deserved. I think Ola is right. It's so sad. It would be nice to see Queens Galaxy to lift this cup because they've been doing so well in this league for many, many seasons. But Durban City, for me, they are deserving. They are deserving of the cup. You know, even their performance. You know, for me, everyone was on Chiefs Galaxy. It would have been nice to see Don Packers lift the cup, but it didn't happen. But I'm not sure they so many goals per match, and they haven't been consistent this season. I don't think this is the best TX Galaxy a team that we've watched. We know they can do well. We know they can do better. For me, TX Galaxy, for me, it's amongst one of the top five best teams in the country. But this season, it's not materializing. I'm not sure what it is. But shout out to Devon City, Nedbank Cup champions 2026. It is very, very good to see teams that are outside of the top three winning these kind of cups. It gives confidence to other teams that they can also do it. When we get to share whatever that is presented in the league like that, it's so nice. It's so good. You saw how it meant so much to the players. And actually, the goalkeeper, Devon City goalkeeper Akit, actually announcing that he will be retiring, saying that Nedbank Cup was his first trophy. This is actually going to be his last trophy. A man that has served the game so many years, and now he's buying out as a champion of the Nedbank Cup champion. You know what, Nadim? Any last words before we close shop? Because yeah, it's been a long show, but yeah, man. Any last regards?
Yeah. Rose, I agree with you. Congratulations to Durban City. Congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns on being 5 points clear of the league title. It looks like it's going to be 9 times in a row. I think the deciding game is going to be on Tuesday between Orlando Pirates versus Stellenbosch. If Pirates beat Stellenbosch, I think there's still a chance. If they fail to beat Stellenbosch, obvious, for me, it's all off.
Tola, last regards.
Yeah, most definitely, Rose. I mean, congratulations to Devon City. They done an absolute stellar. I mean, for a team that just got promoted, it shows Uguti they've learned their lesson and they've corrected their wrongs and they are in the right path. They probably not where they want to be, but chances are glimpses of success have already shown with them winning the Nedbank Cup. So we give kudos to people that come from the relegation battle and then go up and still manage in the first season coming back to the top flight. They clinch a trophy. It's a good job and a good stellar for them. And congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns for today's victory. I mean, they went back on top with a 5-point lead and they've decreased their goal difference to at least 5 goals now as compared to what it was. But let's see how the Wednesday games are going to be, because I also feel those games are going to be very crucial and they are going to determine who is winning the league and who is taking the second spot and probably who is going to be number 3 in the league.
One thing about it, every week in the South African League, in the Betway Premiership, just when you think you know what's going to happen, but every week we are all sitting at the edge of our seats, not knowing what's going to happen.